I'm in a race, it's a crit, and I go over a bump and my handlebars just drop to get her at the line, to just pip her at the line. I am like killing myself. And I look back at that and I'm like, dude, why did you do that? How's it going? I think I got a funny video for you today. These are the 3 stupidest things I've done as a cyclist. Some of them are pretty stupid. I really hope you enjoy it. The first mistake that I made as a cyclist was food. And it was a big mistake. I wanted to get skinny so bad that I just would starve myself. And I'd lose 10 pounds and then I just couldn't take it anymore. Physiology took over and I just started eating. And when I would eat, I wouldn't stop. I would gain back all the weight that I took off and then the process would start over again. I would feel bad. I'd say, that's it. I got to lose this weight. It would start and I couldn't stop. It was bad. And sometimes I look back and I see, you know what? I could have been pushing things too far. And what I realized today is that moderation, eating healthy and not taking things too far was the best thing I could have done, and the weight would come off naturally the more fitter I got. I wish I learned that 5 years ago, but hey, I guess I gotta learn things the hard way. Number 2 is the bike. And what I mean by the bike is I have screwed up everything on my bike. I'm gonna tell you the worst one first, and this one still hurts me today. On my CAD 12, my seat post seized and I couldn't get this thing out. So I stuck the seat post in the vise and I started turning the bike to get it out. It wouldn't work, so I got a piece of wood like this. I got a piece of wood and my trusty hammer. While the seat post was in the vise, I put the wood on the top tube and I began to hit the wood. And you know, as soon as you do something and it's wrong, I just knew it was a bad idea. And I got this huge dent in the bike, and I'm lucky, besides it looking terrible, I'm really lucky that I can still ride the bike. I don't know if it's done any structural damage, but I've put thousands of kilometers on the bike and I haven't had an issue. I'm very lucky it's aluminum. I gotta ask you a favor. If you consider subscribing, it would mean so much to me. I have a goal of getting to 10,000 subscribers by the end of next year. I would really love to do YouTube as a full-time job. It would mean the world to me. I absolutely love doing these videos and creating content, interacting with you, the comments that you leave, and just everything. It's just so fun. So if I could ask you that favor, it'd be amazing. And if you do subscribe, please leave a comment, because I will thank you personally. I will reply and tell you how much I like it, how much I appreciate it. Thank you. I've made every possible mistake with that bike. I've had a bad bike fit. I've had chain issues. I've had shifting issues. I've had so many issues with my bike. And that's because I work on the bike myself. And, you know, that's what I get. But I got a really funny story about something that happened to me, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this. So I'm in a race. It's a crit. And I go over a bump and my handlebars just drop. And I mean, they just go boom, straight down, roll over because I didn't tighten the stem. So I roll into the pit expecting to get a lap. Because, you know, in the crits, you get a lap. This was near the beginning of the race. And I say, does anyone have an Allen key? And I just hear silence. No one's talking because they're all looking at me. I just hear someone say, should have torqued it. And I'm like, well, does anyone have an Allen key? And I just hear nothing. And so I talked to the commissaire. I'm like, hey, if I can get an Allen key, can I get a free lap? If anyone have an Allen key? Commissaire told me, and this is what I want your opinion on. Commissaire told me, sorry, not a real mechanical. It's your fault. You don't get a lap. If I was down in the United States at one of the crits and I rolled into the pit with that, they would have handed me a Canyon Arrow Road with SRAM E-Tap red, and off I would have went. But here in Canada, they do things a little differently. Not criticizing anyone, just want to know your opinion. Would love to hear. Please tell me in the comments what you think. Now, this one, number 3, is bad etiquette. And when I was a beginner cyclist, I had terrible etiquette. Let me tell you a quick story. I was in Tucson with my coach and his girlfriend, and 3 of us were riding, and his girlfriend was good. When we went uphill, she was just as fast as I was. And so he's like, okay, I want to help her get a QOM. He leads her out up Gates Pass, and as soon as it gets to the steep part, he's going to pull off and she's going to get the QOM. And I think she still has the QOM today. So I'm on her wheel the whole way up. And as soon as we get to just coming up over the top, I absolutely gut myself to get her at the line, to just pip her at the line. I am like killing myself. And I look back at that and I'm like, dude, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you have to beat her? She was getting the QOM. And I think so a lot of people, looking back, I felt like I had something to prove. I felt less than, that I would show up on these group rides. I'm 35 years old and I suck. So I felt like I had to prove something, and then that would come out in my riding. I didn't realize until later that the group etiquette is basically two things: safety and for the enjoyment of every rider. So when you're half wheeling someone and you keep pushing the pace, and if you're stronger than them, it's going to hurt them and it's going to get irritating. And something that happened to me, I pull a bar out of my pocket, I go to eat it, and the guy that I'm riding beside picks up the pace. And it's like, bro, come on. You don't need to do that to me. I'm trying to eat, right? So it's stuff like this. It's really, if you keep in the back of your mind what is safe for everyone and what's going to help everyone have a good ride. And I found that that's what most of the etiquette's around. Another example is you go on a group ride and everyone's like, okay, we're going to hit that hill. We're going to go to the top of that hill all out. And you go, everyone races to the top of the hill. You all get to the top and then you're cruising over because you just had a big effort and you're all talking. And then one guy smashes it and attacks you. And it's like, dude, come on. I am not perfect. I've made many mistakes. I've been on rides where I've pushed the pace too hard, or I've done things that I shouldn't. I've thought things were funny that they weren't. I'm not good at this. There are times that I'm not good at this too. In my beginner days, I definitely had some etiquette issues. I would half wheel. I would attack when I shouldn't. I would jump people. I just, and I think what happens is people didn't want to ride with me, and I don't blame them. I was irritating. And even there's a part of me today that I think could be a little irritating, but I love the competition. When their hill comes and someone goes, I want to go too. And I just want to be there because I find it so fun. And I never hold any animosity against anyone if they're better than me or they're beating me or whatever. I think it's all in good fun. And that's one of the things I love about cycling, how competitive it is. You could be out on a ride by yourself and someone passes you and you're like, oh shit, I got to go get that guy. But it's a great sport. I absolutely love it. And, these are definitely the three biggest mistakes that I made when I started out. Is my food. I overate, I underate, and I just borderline had an eating disorder. I had a lot of bike problems. I had shifting problems. I had saddle problems. I had bike fit problems. As you heard, I dented my bike. Oh, that was bad. I remember one time I was changing the hubs on my wheel and I lost the washer, and I looked everywhere for hours. I pulled this place apart and I was so pissed. My kids are down. I'm like, look, where's that? Where's this? Where's that? Where is this washer? And then I find out it's stuck to the other side of the wheel. And so just stuff like that. And in the bad etiquette, I told you that one story where I get her. If she's watching this, Ashley, I'm sorry I did that to you. I still feel bad about it. But like I said, I really think a lot of this etiquette stuff is number one based around safety, because one wrong move by one person could take out a whole group and put people in the hospital. If you're new and you're going to these group rides, really understand that a lot of this is around safety. And I remember my first group ride that someone came up to me and they said, hey, hands on your brakes. Don't be riding behind someone on the tops. And I'm like, whoa, this guy's a jerk, right? But I realized, he probably could have been a little nicer, but I'm a new guy, brand new on the bike. I'm going to show up to a club ride and take out half the group because I'm doing something stupid. I remember at the end of this season, I went out with a bunch of guys and I wanted to hammer the pace and they wanted to go a little slower. And I kept going. Sorry, guys. So it's just really about communication, I find. When we start the ride, what are we doing? Where are we going? Where are we going hard? Where are we going easy? What's happening in this section? And I find when we do that and everyone's communicating, it's a lot easier and people aren't getting upset, because it would upset me if I was sitting on the back of a group ride and we're doing 100 watts and then we're doing 300 watts and then I don't know what's happening. That would irritate me too. Or if people are attacking from behind me, I'm talking to someone and then all of a sudden 3 guys go up the road. These are the 3 biggest mistakes that I made, and if I could go back in time, I'd like to correct them, but obviously we can't. So if you're watching this video, I hope you took something from this video. And as always, guys, if you like this video, please like it and consider subscribing. My goal is to get to 10,000 subs by the end of next year. I could use your help, so please subscribe. And if you do, comment and I will comment back thanking you personally. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next video. See you soon.